In this lesson, we're going to play with objects using features discussed in this and earlier sections to lay out a simple flyer. If you'd like to follow along, go under your File menu to Open, and in the Sample Layouts folder, scroll down to 0411, Play with Objects, and just click Open. Why don't we start by going to our Direct Selection tool and going to the bottom of the text frame. When you see a line segment to the lower right of your Direct Selection tool, when you're over the top of the bottom of the frame, just click to select just that segment and hit Delete. So now I have an open frame and my headline is not falling out of the frame. I wonder if I can add rounded corners to an open frame. Well, let's go under the Object menu to Corner Options, and it looks like it's only giving me one corner. Well, that's because it's an open frame. Let me click down on None and choose Rounded, and click the up arrow next to the radius to increase the size. If it's not working, make sure to hit Preview. It has to be checked. And then just click OK. I also have a graphic that says photospin.com. I'm going to go over the top of the top segment in that graphic frame, and when I see that little line segment to the lower right of the Direct Selection tool, I'm going to click to select just that segment, and I'm going to hit Delete. So now I have an open frame for my graphic. Let me add rounded corners to that as well. I'll go under the Object menu to Corner Options and choose Rounded, and just click the up arrow to increase the radius, and click OK. I have a graphic frame in the middle, a large graphic frame, and I want to use a feature that we talked about in a previous lesson. I'm going to go under my Window menu to Utilities, Scripts, and I'm going to want to use a JavaScript that's called Make Grid. With that object selected, all I need to do is double-click on Make Grid, and I'm going to want 3 rows. I'm going to hit my Tab key to get to the Columns field, and I'll hit 3 as well. I'm going to leave the row gutters and the column gutters at 12 points, and instead of the default unassigned frame for frame type, I'm going to choose Graphic and click OK. So now I have 9 frames in a grid. Let me go to my Selection tool and just click and drag across all of those frames. I think I want to make them into one graphic frame, so they're working as a single unit. Let's see if we could do that. I'm going to go under the Object menu to Paths, Make Compound Path. And you can see now that they're a compound path, all 9 of those rectangles have a single X going through it. That means it's one graphic frame. Let's close the Scripts panel, go under the Window menu, and choose Mini Bridge to open the Mini Bridge. I'm going to choose any one of the landscape images in my Mini Bridge that are from photospin.com. I'm just going to click on the image and drag it out of Mini Bridge right into my frame. Really kind of cool. I'm going to go over the top of that content grabber and just drag straight across to get a more interesting part of the image. Really kind of nice. Kind of looks like a window. I wonder if I can select my frame and make it look more like a window with a simple effect. Now, I know we haven't talked about effects yet, but this is really easy. I'm going to go to my FX pop-up. FX stands for Effects, and if I click on that, I get a pop-up menu, and I'm going to choose an effect called Inner Shadow. I'm just going to increase the size of that in the Options section just a little bit. Then I'm going to click OK. And let me get my Mini Bridge out of the way and go into preview mode. If I go down to the bottom of my Tools panel, I can click down on that little icon and go to preview. Really kind of cool. It really does look like a window. We're going to begin to discuss working with text in the next lesson.